Hey, what's up, man? Lovely to meet you. Hello, hello, Anders. And Sherry, what's up? Love to see a few early birds. You guys got video? Got Lori coming in as well. Lori, what's up?
Hey, good morning or good afternoon.
Always a pleasure. You got video today?
Sure.
There we go. Awesome. The brave first. Maybe a few folks want to just sit quiet and lurk for a minute, and that's always cool. Oh, what's that one's name?
This is Odin. It's my daughter's dog.
Odin. Oh, so cute.
He's a good dog. Very needy though.
Yeah. He's like, just pet me forever. Cool. Wait for a few more minutes. Have a few other people who should be trickling in. And yeah. In the meantime, Dave, Sherry, Anders, where are you guys calling in from? We got Dave, we got David. Oh, that's not Stacy, is it? Who's David's iPhone? I recognize you, but I can't see your name, and you're definitely not David. Oh, you're muted. I know I've seen you before. You're blinking on the name. Sherry in Canada, fantastic. Yanning, that's what it is. Yeah, good to see you again, Yanning. Catherine's here as well. Welcome, Catherine. And we got good old P Quinn. I still don't know what your first name is, but I'll just call you P. I'll wait for a couple more minutes before we get rocking and rolling. What do I want to share? I'll share something that's helpful to put into context what we get to chat about today. I should wait another couple minutes, like I said I did, but I really like to get into it. Reward the early bird for being an early bird, right? So you guys know these calls are mostly experiential as opposed to like me going through a bunch of slides. That's not how I like to teach or train. I deeply believe that direct experience is our greatest teacher. And with the work that we do, when it comes to dissolving limiting beliefs, it's like you can have the intellectual understanding of how all the process works and what the intentions are and all that good stuff. But it all pales in comparison to just having and embracing the direct and tangible experience. And there's several people on this call right now who can already attest to that and more coming. So we'll get started in just a minute. And we're going to be talking about money, everyone's favorite subject. Everyone thinks they have money problems, but they just have belief problems ultimately deep down. Let's give you a little graphic that can put stuff into context. I guess I don't have it in my documents folder anymore. Here it is. Boom. All right. I'm gonna share an image, and this will probably be basically the only time that I share my screen, and for the rest of it, we'll just keep it kind of like a engaged in interactive session. Can everyone see the money tree? Give me a little thumbs up in the chat or come off mute and just let me know if you can see the money tree.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, so, imagine for a moment that you're running a business, because many of you are, but this could just as easily be, a problem, a surface level problem of, when I make money, expenses spontaneously come out of the blue to drain my bank account back down to the level that it's normally at. It could be every time that I get to the fourth stage of the interview, I get existentially terrified, and then something happens that blows up the job opportunity. Any experience that we have in life fundamentally is caused by what we believe and identify as, because you're a limitless eternal creator condensing your consciousness into an individual human soul experience. The way that you create your experience as an individual is you first build an ego with a belief system, and your belief system defines how you experience your life. It defines how you experience your limitless consciousness into the particular perspective. That was tough to say. It defines your limitless consciousness into the particular perspective that you have. And so when we look at something like a surface level challenge of, well, I'm not hitting my revenue goals. What's going on? Oh shit, you can, through a basic self inquiry, start asking, well, why am I not hitting my revenue goals? Well, one of the big reasons is that I'm not comfortable with charging more. My mentors, my coaches, even my friends, even my clients all say, how do you charge so little? It makes no sense. You provide so much value. Your work is changing my life, but it doesn't feel comfortable. And in every single imaginable case, when you explore what your feelings mean and what message they're trying to tell you, you will instantaneously become self aware, many times for the very first time, in ways that'll surprise you. And in this call, it'll surprise the fuck out of you when we have some volunteers come up, just how miraculous it can be to instantaneously discover what these old spells and beliefs and programs actually are. But the moment you tap into that emotional energy of that resistance and you start exploring it, you might find, I'm afraid of rejection and failure because deep down I believe I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy. And there can be 10,000 other examples. You can use this same method of self-inquiry that I'll teach you today to figure out, well, what do I believe that is causing me to procrastinate? Well, oh shit, underneath that, there might be a sense that if I'm successful, I'll just lose it all. I can't keep what I earn. I don't deserve it. And at the root, I'm not capable. I'm a loser. I'm a failure. And for someone else, they're not having any challenge there. They have this people pleasing tendency. They're afraid of relationship conflict. And they go into fight, flight, and freeze when they get into arguments, because they have the sense that when the other person is upset, it's not safe. It's revealing their root core beliefs of, I'm not safe. It's not safe to speak my truth. So can you guys kind of see how, regardless, like we'll focus on money today because that's what we're all here for, but can you kind of see how, away from the shared application, I don't know what that means. Zoom is giving me a little warning or something, but can you see how essentially, no matter what the surface level challenge is that you're having in your financial situation, there is a way to reverse engineer and figure out, okay, so what am I believing at the root that is causing this experience to show up? Does that kind of make sense? Awesome. All right, that's probably going to be the end of the screen shares, and the rest of it we'll just kind of have fun and discover what might be some of our money blocks. And I really prefer these things to be mostly kind of like a ongoing engaged experience, as opposed to I'm the guru that knows everything and I'm going to lecture you how reality works, because that's stupid. Um, so feel free to come off mute, because your voice matters, and we want to welcome you expressing yourself and sharing your truth here. Um, why is it that you guys decided to show up here on this call? And what might you be dealing with as far as like a money pattern that you want to transcend and finally move beyond? Whoever shares first, we love and respect your courage and your openness. Also, welcome, Alfredo. Good to see you, man.
I'll go first.
Cool. All right, Who was that? For some reason, I just see yawning pinned to my screen. Let me remove that pin.
Sherry.
Sherry, awesome. Welcome.
Sorry, what was the first question again? Why I'm here?
Yeah, why are you here? And what sort of, interesting experiences in the realm of money and finance would you like to explore during this session?
I am here because one of my really good friends introduced me to your work, and I've definitely had some big money limiting thoughts and beliefs and feelings within the body that I would like to be done with.
Heaven,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Sherry. Was it by chance Eliza Daigle or someone else?
No, Lori Keene.
Oh, cool. I love Lori.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Are you in Austin too?
No, I'm in Canada, actually.
Oh, wonderful. All
Yeah.
right. Nationwide impact today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So, who else is here that would love to share? Why'd you come to this training, and what are some of the patterns in your financial life that you'd like to take a look at and explore?
I'll go.
Mhm.
So one of the things I'm a trader, and a stocks and option traders. I'll do well for a little while, and then I'll have a loss that takes me back to where I started. So it's very difficult for me to keep that upward momentum going.
Yeah, just making note so that we can all keep track of these and chat. And thank you for that, Lori. Um, Leslie, I see you've got your hand raised. What would you like to share?
Yes, good morning. I'm in Tasmania, Australia. So lovely to put Aussie on the map. And Gladius, it's lovely to be here and tuned in. So
Yeah.
I'm here as I'm on an age pension, and that's about $60 a day. But I just have phenomenal dreams and things I want to do at 72. And I don't know what stops me from being absolutely filthy rich and abundantly wealthy, because I'm wealthy in every area and feel so rich on the inside. So so rich in life in many ways. So there's obviously something that's not arriving big windfalls of money into my account some way. That's what I'd like. I'd like just a bottomless pit of money to do what I'm here to do.
Heaven, yes. All right. All right. I'd love to see that manifest for you as well. And not I don't share this publicly often, but I'm a member of an entrepreneur mastermind called Maverick Next, and there's a mentor
Yeah.
in that group called his name is Yannick, and he was just sharing this book. I'll drop it in the chat because I think it might be interesting to some of you guys. I'm gonna buy myself a copy. It's called The Great Work of Your Life, a guide for the journey to your true calling. And he was sharing the story about there was a 73-year-old in this book who took on painting for the first time in their life and instantly realized that this was their sacred calling, and they went through this sequence of awareness, building that skill into their 70s, into their 80s, into their 90s. By the time that they were 100, every single breaststroke or every single brush stroke that they made was alive. And it was this fun
Yeah.
little
Well,
experience.
I'll look forward to looking at that book and accessing that, Gladius. Thank you, because every stroke of my life for 70 years has seemingly, I've lived it as far as I know like that, in
Yes.
absolute purpose and to every corner of the globe. But now I'm finding at 72, there's just $60 a day in that account that I can't get on those airplanes and go to those places and have those big dreams that I want to have, other than in my head and in
Or
my heart.
so it seems. Or so
So
it
it seems.
seems.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a degree of like I don't like to language police, but I like to gently encourage people to let go and pay close attention to like the spells that you're speaking, the spells that you're casting are what define your experience in reality. And if we say, I can't, that's the reality that we get to experience. But if we say, I don't know how yet, but I get to find out, for example, that's one of 1,000 different ways to frame it, Yeah, it's
Thank you.
little
That's what I'm on
necessary.
the call for.
Of course, of course. So let's get one more. Who's got a money pattern or et cetera that they'd like to take a look at during the course of the call today? Why are you here? Also, welcome, Jake. Great to see you, bro. Hey,
All right. I'll talk about money.
sweet. Let's talk about money, Jake. What's going on, man?
Uh, so there's some times when I'm like really good with money, and other times when I'm just terrible with it. Where it's like sometimes I'll spend it wisely, and then other times it's like, uh, buy into dreams or get conned or whatever it is. Made some terrible investments. The last year has just been like in net worth, and then other times they're really good. So I feel like I'm digging out of a hole right now, and I would like more capacity to hold money or to have it flow through me and be in good relationship with it.
Yes, heaven, yes. All
Yeah,
right. I love it.
thank you.
Totally. Okay. So I'm just gonna sit here and digest that for a moment. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is a good direction to go in. So just like how we took a look at the money tree earlier in the session, and you can see that whatever surface level pattern that we're having of, oh, I create these big windfalls and then I lose it, or I make bad investments and I get conned, or I'm just stuck hovering at this stable amount. Different people have completely different money patterns, but you can use the same methodology to discover what the root cause belief system is at the very, very bottom of it all. So that's where I want to bring our attention first. I'm going to hand you some tools because that's what I do. Some of you are brand new to my work, so I'll give a minute of context. I've spent the last 3 years well over $100,000 at this point, and countless thousands of hours in facilitation and gifting sessions and running programs, etc., synthesizing the best technologies, in my opinion, ever created to help people, specifically awakened entrepreneurs, or who I love to help the most, dissolve their limiting beliefs on command and really gain that ability in a way that is completely new, completely different from all of the traditional self-help paradigm, etc., like NLP, internal family systems therapy. These are useful tools that were developed first in the 20th century, but I am playing my part in the 21st century unveiling of these more profound tools like Brian Ridgway's spell breaking, the rapid rewire method. Now you've got the sovereign mind method and intentional reprogramming is what we're here to learn today. But there's this whole landscape of transformational tools that are coming that are all about instantaneous transformation the moment that you choose. And so that's what we're going to emphasize in the realm specifically of limiting beliefs. That's where our magic is focused. So I'm gonna hand you a tool called belief prompts. These are tools kind of like if you ever tinkered around with AI, you know that if you write a really good prompt, it'll give you a really good response. So if you prompt your subconscious mind with a really good question, a really good open-ended statement, and you allow your subconscious mind to just process that and spontaneously reveal to you what it is that you believe deep down inside, that can be an instant gateway into your belief system. So we're going to start. Yeah. We're going to start with the universal solver. This is my favorite one. I call it the universal solver because you can use this exact same prompt with any problem imaginable in your life. So I'll write it down here in the chat. In order to have, in this case, I'll put it in brackets, have funny problems like me, comma, someone would have to believe So grab a pencil, grab a piece of paper, open up notes on your computer, whatever your preferred method is. And when you're ready, at the top, this is generic, but it's specific enough. Yes, there's going to be a replay available. No worries. Go ahead and write physically, in order to have money problems like me, someone would have to believe. And what I want you to do is write 6 to 12 spontaneous, unfiltered completions to that sentence. And you'll notice things come up like, money is hard to come by, or I can't do it, or I'm not worthy, or whatever. You'll just notice things start to come up. Let your subconscious fill in the blanks. I'll give you a few minutes to do this now. Just a couple more minutes. And here's a complimentary prompt I'll give you. This one will really start opening some eyes. I secretly don't want my money problems to end forever, because deep down I believe. I'll give you a few minutes with that one too. Give a couple more minutes and imagine that you guys are probably right about ready to wrap up here. I can still see eyeballs down, so I'll wait. All right. So I'd love to have someone come off mute and share. As you look at your list, what stands out to you?
I'll share. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Between both lists, not feeling like I deserve it and not feeling worthy or good enough are like the biggest things that stand out.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you. You probably wouldn't actually be surprised at how common that is. I think that quite literally around 50% of the global population has some variation of at least one of those ideas in their belief system. So, yeah, it's a core, an excellent thing to let go. And what else? Who else has something that is interesting to share?
I was really surprised at the last one. I secretly don't want my money problems to end forever because deep down I believe that I need to be saved.
Fuck yeah, that's the kind of self-awareness that we love to see. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Excellent work. There's a whole trailhead of gold there, my friend. And Leslie, what came up for you? And then Daniel.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
These lots of different things, but safety was a big factor. Mistake was a big factor. I don't know, and I don't know. Control was a big factor, and people with money are rogues. That was interesting. And I saw a little piece where dealing with anyone that I see, rich entrepreneurs, around that subject was that they have no heart. Yeah, so that was very interesting. I secretly don't want the money problems to end forever because it's weird. I wouldn't like to have no heart. I enjoy having a heart.
That's right. But you better believe if there's a core program that says that rich entrepreneurs have no heart, I better fucking not become one of those.
Yeah, and I can see how that's I can see how that's played out and played out with my interaction with others that are rich, because there's always this separation that seems to happen. Yeah, so interesting.
Good awareness. Good awareness. Thank you. Daniel, what came up for you? They're off. You're on mute.
I unmuted myself.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So, well, last one for me kind of hit me in an interesting way. Is like I don't want to be judged if I'm wealthy. That was a strange one, like that. The sense of like there'll be more eyeballs on me, and I'm going to get more negative judgments, which I didn't notice. And just a simple one that money is unsafe. That was like my relationship with it is always up and down. I kind of noticed it there's this vibe of like. It's like dating a girl who might be crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry to the women out there. I didn't mean that to.
It's in good faith. In good faith.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was a simple one? Like the responsibility. It's too much responsibility. I thought that was interesting. That I tied a lot of responsibility when it came to me.
Absolutely. It's amazing how frequently the theme of responsibility comes up in virtually every belief system that I explore. There's often inner children that really, really deeply don't want to take on that additional responsibility because they look at the perspective of a 5-year-old is that, well, when the adults have to take on responsibilities, they're not having fun, they're miserable as fuck, they're existentially anxious all the time, and they're just barely hanging on for dear life. And that's what responsibility looks like from a 5-year-old perspective. So we internalize that definition, and that becomes anchor of fear that we want to run away from at all costs. until we go in and we correct that definition of what responsibility actually means, what it looks like, and what it feels like. So excellent work, Daniel. We've got space for one more if anyone is feeling called.
Yeah, Gladius, I found that the first prompt was harder for me than the one about secretly don't wanting to keep the problems.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I found it's the same thing. It would be too much to handle for having a lot of money. And then another came up that it seems wasteful to have so much when there's so many people, that don't
Yeah.
have anything. So
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems wasteful to have so much when others don't have. Got it. Okay. So, of all the things on your list, there's probably 20 or 30 for most of you. There's a handful that stand out as being the most strongly charged. When you look at it and when you allow yourself to feel it, it carries emotional energy and it carries emotional weight. And our beliefs don't just make logical sense. That is a 20th century and earlier idea. The idea being that, oh, a belief is just a statement about reality that you think is true. No, no, that's not a useful or helpful definition of a belief. A belief can be seen as a pocket of stored emotional and energetic charge that lives inside of your body and shapes and distorts what you perceive in your mind. A belief is a multidimensional energetic structure, and it's woven into all of your senses. They say seeing is believing. Well, feeling is believing. Hearing is believing. So beliefs don't just make logical sense. They make visual, they make emotional sense. They get bound to emotions and sensations inside of your body. One of the most helpful things that you can do is become self-aware of your most strongly charged, and we mean that from an energetic and emotional standpoint for the most part, your most strongly charged beliefs, because when you make the choice to dissolve those and to let those go, that'll have the biggest transformational impact on your life. Because as long as your energy is being directed into a story that has to self perpetuate and endlessly provide you evidence to self validate the story that I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve, I can't do it, or I need to be rescued, I need to be saved, or there's no one coming for me, et cetera, et cetera. There's 1,000 different variations and combinations, and your belief system is completely unique to you. But when you find those most strongly charged beliefs and you dissolve those first, that's what makes the biggest transformational impact. And so, the most helpful thing that I could possibly do with my time is what we're doing right here, helping you dissolve the beliefs that you truly in your heart feel ready to let go of. So, we're going to transition to doing some one-on-one sessions. You can volunteer yourself to let go of any of the beliefs that came up for you during the prior exercise. And before we do that, I want to take a minute and while we're all here together, build a safe container for people to feel truly comfortable being open, being seen in this process. And so I want to invite us all to just for a moment. You can keep your eyes open if that's more comfortable, if that's more safe for you, but I like to close my eyes for this process, and I'll invite you to close your eyes as well. And just take a deep, relaxing belly breath, as full as you can expand your lungs. Let it out with a nice sigh. Do that 2 more times, a couple more deep belly breaths, as full as you can. Hmm. Hmm. And now, you see, Daniel already knows. So we're gonna do the signature sovereign mind thing. We're gonna do 3 yawns together. And when you yawn, it's a really, really nice release of any stuck and stagnant energy in the body. So I invite you to join me, stretching your arms however feels good naturally to you, and let 3 yawns come free. Oh, there's one. Oh, oh. Ooh, there's two. Good work, everyone. One more. Oh, ah, ah. Excellent. All right. How are we feeling? Good. So I have a request. When we're in a group setting and someone is exploring some of their beliefs and some of their emotions, it really helps when we all carry a shared intention to just keep our hearts open, to be fully present with, and to send a gentle energy of appreciation and safety to whoever is volunteering. And I wonder if we can get a yes in the chat if we're all in agreement that throughout the course of the session, we'll just keep our hearts open and extend a gentle energy of love and safety and appreciation. All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Daniel, Lori, Sherry, Dave, Leslie, Jake, Wayne, Alfredo, Catherine. It's a lot of open hearts and a lot of love. So thank you. And who here would like to volunteer today to let go of some limiting beliefs first? Sherry jumped right on it. Awesome. All
Get
right.
rid of these.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'll pin myself and you to the screen here just so we can all be present. Fantastic. Leslie, I see you got your hand raised for next. All right, so Sherry, of everything that you found earlier, what do you feel ready in your heart to let go of today?
Not feeling worthy or deserving and or
Worthy, worthy and deserving tend to go hand in hand, so I think that's an excellent choice. So, perfect. We'll start with a tool called the sense test. And the idea here is super simple. When you say words that you don't believe, like I am a schmiggle schmaggle schmungle butt, you don't feel any intense emotions or sensations because schmingle schmangle schmangle butt doesn't carry any emotional charge for you. It's nonsense. And you don't believe it. When you don't believe it, you don't feel it. However, when you speak words that you do believe, even if consciously, rationally, you go, it's not true, and I know that's not true, and I've done all the reframing, and I've done 50 years of everything to. Even if the rational mind knows that it's not true, when we say the words of the belief out loud and it carries an emotional charge, that's our body signaling, yep, that's there. Good news. Now that you're aware of it, we can let it go. So I wonder if you're open to saying some words out loud, Sherry, and just noticing if they carry a charge.
Yeah.
Awesome. So with worthiness, I find that there's a few variations of the spelling of that belief, and different people resonate with different spellings. So we'll actually start with nonsense, give you a little flavorful taste of that. What happens if you say the words out loud? I am the Pope's favorite napkin.
I am the Pope's favorite napkin.
Any emotional energy, or is it relatively neutral?
Neutral.
Okay. What about I am the beautiful curtains behind me?
I am the beautiful curtains behind me.
Nothing there. Perfect. So that's our baseline. That's what we call nonsense. And any level of emotional charge in the form of thoughts, images, emotions, sensations, any kind of charge like that above that baseline indicates some degree of belief. And what we want to do, Sherry, is rate that level of charge that comes up on a scale of 1 to 10. And we're going to focus our time here on the most strongly charged beliefs that we find. So how does it feel to start with the most obvious one? How does it feel to say, I am not worthy?
I'm not worthy. Yeah, there's definitely charge there.
Yeah, thank you. And where do you feel that in your physical body?
Right in my chest.
How would you describe that energy? Is it a sense of tightness and sadness? Is it something else?
Yeah, sort of a tight, just like choking on your word type of feel.
How intense is that energy on a scale of 1 to 10?
Eight.
Good. Anything above a 5, and you've got a nugget of gold. Anything above an 8, and you've got a gold mine. So we're in the right territory. So check this out, though. What happens if you change the spelling ever so slightly? Instead of saying not worthy, what happens if you say I'm not worth it?
I'm not worth it. Less of a charge.
Interesting. Same part of the body or different?
Yeah, same part, kind of upper chest, more my throat, maybe more.
Yeah, maybe like a 5 out of 10.
Like a 4 or 5, like
Nice.
a 4.
So just notice that the slight change of spelling decreases the charge significantly by 50% in this case. And then the energy starts to go into the throat. It moves from that location into the throat. And what happens if we change it one more time and say out loud, I am worthless?
I am worthless. This feels neutral.
There's nothing there.
Basically.
Cool. For someone else, it's the exact opposite. I'm not worthy doesn't make any sense. I am worthless. Life-defining belief. So isn't that interesting? Can you kind of see how the spelling of the belief is actually really important when you're doing the discovery?
It highlights how important words we choose are.
Yes. Yes. So I always love to ask, we found this belief, I'm not worthy, and is that a belief that you want to keep or let go of?
Get rid of it.
All right, let's get rid of it. Cool. So here is where the magic begins. And the first question that no one ever thinks to ask themselves, that's quite possibly the most important question to ask, is Sherry, can you search inside of yourself? Is there any part of you that doesn't want to let go of that belief for any reason?
With fear of the unknown.
Yeah. So just take a moment to welcome that part of you that wants to hold on to that belief, I'm not worthy, because of fear of the unknown. And in the sovereign mind perspective, all parts are welcome. There's no such thing as a bad part. And with a little bit of self-inquiry, we'll see and we'll find that all parts are carrying a pure loving intention. They're not holding on to these beliefs out of malice. They're usually just trying to keep you safe. So just ask this part of you, what's the bad thing that would happen if we were to let go of this belief in unworthiness?
Might try something to fail.
Okay. Yeah.
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure. Yeah. And then underneath that, if you were to fail to this part, what would that mean? What does it mean if Sherry fails?
Would be this feeling of others saying, I told you so. Or specifically, my mom telling me that she knew couldn't do it that way.
So Mom knew I couldn't do it that way. So let's just take a moment and extend some appreciation to this part of you. And ultimately, it's just trying to protect you from this experience of failure, trying to make sure that Mom doesn't say, you can't do it that way. I want to check and see, Sherry, how old does that part think that you are right now?
7.
Yeah. So, Sherry, can you just gently welcome that part of you into your present moment experience and help it see and feel and sense now? Yeah. Can this part of you see that, we're not 7 anymore? In fact, from what I infer, seeing a teenage boy walk around, Sherry might have an awesome family. And isn't that lovely that we no longer necessarily have to be continuously concerned about Mom saying a few words? Because now is now, and that was then. I wonder, Sherry, if this part of you might be open to hearing a perspective that might help things make a little more sense. So, first, we acknowledge and appreciate that, like once upon a time, believing I am unworthy is probably pretty beneficial because you got to avoid this experience called failure and the unknown, and got to potentially avoid Mom saying, you can't do it that way. Now that some time has passed, you no longer live with Mom, can this part also see that that belief, I am unworthy, is actually causing some unintended consequences? It's no longer exclusively keeping you safe from your mom. It's kind of causing some really negative, unintended consequences in quite a few different areas of your life, isn't it? Yeah. And is there any possibility that, like, if I don't believe I am unworthy, that I am less likely to fail and more capable of facing the unknown? Yeah. So I want to check, Sherry, how does this part feel hearing this new perspective and looking at some of these new possibilities? What's your experience?
Happy and excited.
Oh, great. Okay, wonderful. Well, let's just check in with this part. Like, with this new perspective in mind, is it okay to let go of believing I am unworthy?
Yes.
Oh, great. Send her some gratitude, some appreciation, whatever feels right. And whenever you're ready, just check in again and see, is there any other part of me that doesn't want to let go of believing I am unworthy? Wonderful. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up a document here, and I'll start sharing some intentions with you guys that you can use to dissolve limiting beliefs anytime that you want. And you just pull it up. My brain is good at doing one thing at a time. There we go. There's the first. Actually, going to change that. And then here's the next one. And then compassion. I guess I have to write it and then include that one. And forgiveness. So the method of intentional deprogramming is extremely simple. You, as an infinite creator, have the ability to dissolve limiting beliefs on command the moment that you choose to be free. You created every single belief in your belief system through your experiences. And when you were a child, you had unconscious competence at this magical ability to believe anything that you want. And in many moments, when you were having brand new formative experiences for the first time, there was a lot of fear in our field based on whatever events we were going through. And we used that God-given ability to create beliefs, to create a shit ton of fear-based beliefs and old programming that is just gunking up the wheel. But in the method of intentional deprogramming, we use the magic and the power of spoken intention in order to completely energetically dissolve the full structure of the belief out of all aspects of our consciousness. This method will not work if you are secretly holding on to and gripping that belief and making sure under any cost that you keep that belief inside of you in order to stay safe. So the very first thing that we do is we ask the question that no one ever asks, which is there any part of me that doesn't want to let this go? Because consciously, just like you said, Sherry, oh, fuck that shit. I want to get rid of it. Like, totally. So does everyone here, consciously. The first magic question that we ask every single process, is there any part of me that doesn't want to let this go for any reason? And lo and behold, today we found just one. Sometimes there could be two, sometimes there could be three. I've talked to people who have had 8. It differs from person to person, differs from belief to belief, but the principle is always the same. You can welcome those parts of your mind with curiosity and compassion. You can bring them into the present moment so that they're no longer trapped in the past, believing that you're still 7, believing that you're still 2, believing that you're still 23. And when you do that, there's a new level of safety unlocked within inside of the body and the nervous system. There's an awareness and a realization that, holy shit, oh, it's finally safe to let that go. And when it's safe to let that go completely, and your conscious mind and your unconscious mind are both aligned to make that decision to actually let it go, you're about to see that letting it go is actually really, really easy. And what a gift and what a blessing that is. So I'll spend a minute to describe here the actual intentions here themselves, just so that you have understanding as well. We all carry our own unique definition of what worthy and unworthy means. Meaning is a huge part of what gives belief power and emotional charge. For example, schmiggle schmaggle bingle butt means nothing to you. It carries no emotional charge. Unworthy means a fucking lot to you based on your lived experience, and it means a lot to everyone who believes in that particular definition. When you say, I undefine all definitions of I am not worthy, that is experientially dissolving all of the meaning out of that definition of worthy and unworthy. And you'll tangibly see for yourself what happens when we do that. So I invite you to repeat after me. I undefine all definitions of I am not worthy.
And define all definitions of I am not worthy.
Good. What do you notice in your experience, Sherry?
Big energy shift. Really big rush of energy just went all the way up.
Yep. Feel free to let that process unfold in whatever way is natural, and just give me a little visual cue whenever you feel like that's complete. Cool. All right. So that's what I call the definition layer. That's a huge, huge component. If you have no believed in definition of what it means to be worthy or unworthy, the idea can't carry the same emotional charge. So most people don't realize that all definitions are made up. All definitions are stored inside your mind and inside of your body, not just intellectually like words in a dictionary, but energetically. Words are spells. They carry emotional charge based on your past experiences that you've associated with that word. And so there's all kinds of spells in the English language like worthy, good enough, overwhelm, failure, loser, fuck up, that carry a physiological charge and contraction. And so in this paradigm, we're reclaiming to choose which of these definitions that we're investing our faith into and gaining the ability to divest our faith from old spells and old definitions that no longer serve us, such as unworthy. So that's one layer. The next layer is your identification with that belief. So anytime that you create a strongly charged emotional belief, you slowly but surely inevitably begin to merge your sense of self with that belief. And you can even look at the spelling of the belief to verify this. The belief is not spelled it is unworthy, or pumpkin pie is unworthy, or schmiggle schmag is unworthy. The belief is I am unworthy. There's your sense of self tied up in that definition of unworthy. So by definition, anything that you attach to I am has a certain level of identification with that same belief. And when you disidentify from that, that creates a new layer of energetic freedom from that particular belief or spell. So I invite you to repeat after me. I disidentify all identities of I am not worthy.
Disidentify from all identities of I am not worthy.
What's happening in your experience, Sherry?
Right when I went to say the word I disidentify, there was like a choking up in my throat.
Uh-huh.
And I just
And
moved through that. And yeah, just another big, massive rush of energy shifting up through my body. That was
yep, yep, yep.
interesting, that choke up piece. It was like I didn't want to say it.
It's very interesting, and that often happens at that exact step. So that can be a part of your psyche, a part of your subconscious that's like, I wish I had I like to do this little thing. It's like, no, that's my pet rock belief. Don't do that. That's my identity that keeps me safe. No. So if you were able to just kind of will through that, that's cool. But I always like to check, if you search within yourself, is there any part of you that doesn't want to let go of that identity of being unworthy?
Yeah, I suppose there is. I don't want
Yeah.
there to be, but there is something sitting there.
Yeah, yeah. So what you'll learn is that the more that you can work with your subconscious as a friend, as an ally, explore it with curiosity and compassion, not only the more self-aware and self-empowered you become, but the easier it becomes to let go of these old stories and beliefs. So rather than trying to will our way past it, I invite you to connect with that part of you and just welcome it with curiosity and compassion. And when you feel present with it, just say, thank you so much for keeping me safe. And I'd love to know, why is it important to keep this identity of being unworthy?
Not really like specific words, but there's like a feeling of like being seen or people caring about me. That like victim mentality of like, if I'm in a victim space, people will see me and care about me or want to help me.
Excellent self-awareness, and just send some gratitude and appreciation to that part of you. And ultimately, it's just trying to make sure that you experience love and care and connection with other people, and we can certainly appreciate that.
The other thing that's coming up is, when you're strong, people don't care.
Mm. Yeah. You can have compassion for that belief as well. And Sherry, let's illustrate this principle idea one more time. How old does that part think that you are right now? 10. Yeah. So, Sherry, just gently welcome that part of you into your present moment experience. Help it see and feel and sense this now moment, where you have a family and you have people in your life that care. I wonder if this part of you might be open to hearing a perspective that could potentially be really helpful and help things make more sense. First, totally love and respect that to this part, it's really important that you experience other people's care and their love and their attention. I think we're all in agreement that that matters and that's beneficial to Sherry's flourishing. Now, once upon a time, when you were 10 years old, it made sense to believe I am unworthy as a strategy to become a victim so that certain people would pay more attention and maybe give more care. And some percent of the time, that strategy in that specific environment worked. It got you what you wanted. And that's great. So we applaud that. There's nothing wrong with that. But, and now Sherry's no longer in that same environment. She's no longer dependent upon her mother and father in the same way that she was when we were 10. And so, is there any possibility that if she didn't have this tight, choking, painful energy of being unworthy, that she might actually discover that she's able to better care for herself? What comes up for you, Sherry?
Like another part that's come in that doesn't want me talking to her, so I'm kind of shifted to seeing that part
Perfect.
and
Welcome.
welcoming that part in.
Yeah, awesome. Well, say thank you to this one as well, and let's just check and see why is it important that you don't talk to that part.
I guess it doesn't trust me.
Mm-hmm.
It wants to keep things safe.
Yeah, let's take a moment to really sincerely appreciate that this part is trusting enough to tell you that it doesn't trust you. And we all value your safety and we appreciate this part for doing its job. An excellent job to keep you safe. I wonder, is this part aware that the intention that you have for connecting to that other part is to let go of a belief, I am unworthy? Yeah. So fill me in. What's happening for you, Sherry?
Just sharing with both parts that my intentions are here to help us all. And I come with compassion, curiosity.
Excellent.
Beliefs.
And how does that protector part feel, becoming aware of your sincere curiosity and compassion?
Yeah.
Good. I wonder if that protector part might feel safe now, just stepping aside, and it can still be present. In fact, it's perfectly welcome to be here and just observing us as we continue the process of helping this other younger part let go of that belief in unworthiness.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much. All right, so we bring our attention back to this 10-year-old who is holding on to I am unworthy, the sense of identity. Just check and see, does it still make sense to hold on to that belief? I'm not worthy.
It makes sense.
Oh, okay. Is it okay to let it go? Yo, give her high five and celebrate with her, however feels right to you. And whenever you're ready, Sherry, with all the love and all the gratitude for these parts who are just doing so excellent to protect you, we appreciate them. Just check and see, are there any other parts that want to hold on to the identity of I am not worthy?
Seems to have shifted and calmed.
Excellent. All right. Well, when you're ready, I invite you to repeat after me. I disidentify all identities of I am not worthy.
I disidentify with all identities of I am not worthy. A lot easier.
Exactly. Yeah. And that'll be true in every process and every limiting belief that you dissolve with any method. Doesn't matter which method you approach, as long as there's a part of you that's gripping on white knuckle to a belief in order to stay safe, in order to have its sense of love protected, in order to have its sense of identity or motivation. There's all kinds of different reasons. I won't go into them all. But if there's a part of you that's holding on to that belief, the first step, no matter what, is to become self-aware of that, to welcome that part of you with curiosity and compassion, and to guide it through a process where it starts to feel safe, finally, to let it go. And then when you use the intentions, instead of battling through resistance, like you felt that, I had to identify all that. It's so much easier when there's not that resistance that's pulling in the opposite direction. In fact, it's effortless. And this is why I publicly broadcast, hey, we can dissolve these beliefs instantaneously on command now. The only caveat to that is that you have to be internally aligned to let it go. That's the only condition. So the last intention here is that of compassion and forgiveness. And there's something very powerful about this intention, which is that you're not just clearing it for yourself, you're clearing it for the entire collective species of mankind. Because when you send compassion and forgiveness into the very idea, this intention is crafted in such a way that you are directing the infinite I am into the specific energy, the frequency of compassion and forgiveness, and radiating that compassion and forgiveness into the idea of I am not worthy. And that starts to erode and dissolve the collective agreement as well as any self-judgmental energy that we've taken on through judging ourselves. Why do I still believe this? I shouldn't believe this. The compassion and forgiveness has that dual-fold effect of benefiting you, dissolving any self-judgmental energy, and also clearing it for the collective. So I invite you to repeat after me and really feel the frequency and the energy of compassion. I am compassion and forgiveness for all ideas of I am not worthy.
I am compassion and forgiveness for all ideas of I am not worthy.
Good. How does that feel?
Really good.
Yay. Enjoy that as long as you like. Seems like you're back. Well, Sherry, what happens now when you say, I am not worthy?
I am not worthy. Very neutral.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, give some appreciation, send some love to Sherry. That was awesome.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's really cool because when you do this kind of work in a group container, you're obviously benefiting from it yourself, and everyone who connects with you that no longer feels that energy of unworthiness in your field is benefited. But like every single person here also benefits from witnessing your courage, witnessing your openness, and they can follow along in the process and dissolve their own beliefs, dissolve similar beliefs that are spelled slightly differently. That's part of the amazing magic of this particular method and the people like you who make doing it possible. So thank you. We got hearts and love from Lori. Lots of I forget if X's or hugs or kisses, but lots of hugs, I think, from Leslie. And I'm gonna do another demo with Leslie in just a minute, but later on towards the end of the call, I'll extend an invitation for anyone who doesn't have the opportunity to volunteer today to still have an experience of training and being able to dissolve their limiting beliefs in a very professional and safe group container. I'm going to drop a little invitation to do further training in the chat, and you guys can check that out on your own time. All right. So Leslie, well, first, Sherry, I just want to check before I move on. My apologies. Do you feel complete?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. So Leslie, are you still here? You still want to?
Oh, I'm still here, Gladius. That was
Amazing.
Gladius. That was glorious, wasn't it? It was just so beautiful, and
Oh,
I followed Sherry all the way, and every bit that she did and received, I got, and I could feel the whole world
yes.
receiving. So thank you so much, and thank you to
Yeah.
Sherry.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Blessings to all. Well, all right, Leslie. Yes, this is not your first rodeo, playing together. So what can I help you with today?
No, this is our second rodeo playing together.
Mhm.
I think I can work with all of that on the replay and get the maximum benefit. There was one particular area that I would like to address today, if I may, and that was the dumbfuck experience.
The dumbfuck experience. Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, arriving here on planet Earth, there was a big mission, seemingly, that I
Mhm.
could feel in every cell of my body, and not being able to read and write. You know,
Yep.
yeah. So that sort of created the dumbfuck experience that then took me through to, you know, needing to go nursing, and you know, and then that took me through that experience of not being able to read the books. So it has just propelled me through life. I can see now it's served me well, because I've developed many always I've developed many ways of assimilating life.
Yeah.
But when I get to to an environment that requires you to understand the intellect, it's like I hit that dumbfuck thing that, you know, and scrambling for which one of those assimilating skills that I have am I going to address this with? Yeah.
I see. So translating a little bit, you're carrying this definition, this belief, this energy of being a dumb probably has quite a lot of emotional charge, and based on the just subtle differences in your neurological wiring that there's no judgment of. It's just how I am, it's how you are, it's how we are. That dumb fuck was like a strategy in order to redirect you into some kind of adaptive pattern that you could use to like mesh in with society. Is that right?
Correct.
Brilliant.
Correct.
Okay. Would you like to let that go today?
I would like to be free of that. Thank you very much. And I appreciate this opportunity.
Heaven, yes. All right. So we'll do the slightly more advanced energetic version of the sense test, and I'll drop the intention here so that you guys can use this on your own whenever you want. Present all energies of, and then whatever the belief is. So this intention, present all energies, this will help you directly connect with the experiential energy of whatever the belief is, in a way that's even more direct than just saying it out loud. So let's go ahead and see. Leslie, go ahead and say, if you will, out loud, present all energies of dumbfuck.
I present all energies of dumbfuck.
How does that feel?
There's like a shiver through my entire body, like just a little shimmer.
Mm-hmm. I see. How intense is that? Scale of 1 to 10.
It's a 5.
Just following a hunch here. Does it change ever so slightly if you say present all energies of being a dumb fuck?
I present all energies of being a dumbfuck. Yeah, that's a bit more intense.
Okay.
It's like don't make me assume that one. It's like observing it. Yeah, there's like a bit of midway, but then being it, there's
Yep.
more resistance.
Yeah. There's no need to get into metaphysics of that now. Thank you. That's perfect. So, being a dumb fuck is the spell that we want to dissolve. Check and see, Leslie, is there any part of you that doesn't want to let go of being a dumb fuck?
None that I can see.
Great.
Which has a bit of defiance around that. I can feel none that I can see.
So you can sense some defiance.
Yeah. Like
Welcome
I
in.
can feel that fire, that hot flush fire, like a rush of fire in my blood.
So welcome that defiance into your awareness. And just be like, oh, thank you so much for keeping me safe. And I'd love to
Yeah.
know, I'm curious, like, why is it important to believe in being a dumb fuck?
It was like that blood boiling strategy. A bit like a volcano that sort of I took on as a child when the world was coming at me and I was trying to come out, and it was coming at me, but I was trying to come out. It just took on that. And I didn't want to bring that explosion out, but I took it to the inside.
Mm. So just thank the little one who had that experience and send her compassion, appreciation. I'm curious, how old does this version of you think that you are right now?
2 or 3.
Yeah. So Leslie, just welcome this sweet part of you into your present moment experience. And help her see and feel and sense now. Leslie's gained quite a lot of wisdom over the years, hasn't she?
Yes, she has.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious if this part of you might be open to a perspective that can help things make more sense.
Yes, I'm open to that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So once upon a time, Leslie was very fresh and new in the world, and she started to realize that adults kind of sometimes think and behave in different ways, and maybe, just maybe, there could be something that's a little different, a little special about her. And it kind of made sense to take on this belief and this identity of being a dumb fuck so that you can change the way that you show up and maybe show up in ways that are more acceptable or agreeable to the adults that had a lot of power over you at the time. And truly, there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, we can applaud the genius of a strategy like that for a 2-year-old to invent in her imagination and then believe in for so long. But that was then, now is now, and now Leslie has very, very well adapted into society. She's gone through a whole career. She's had so many different relationships over the course of her life with so many amazing people. And I wonder if this part might be open to the possibility that this idea of believing that I'm a dumb fuck and I have to be a dumb fuck, it's kind of painful now. It's no longer really serving the same benefit that it did when we were 2 years old. And maybe, just maybe, could it make some sense to let that go?
Yes, that makes complete sense.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, extend some gratitude and appreciation. She was doing what she knew to do to keep you safe, and we appreciate that. Hmm.
May I add something here?
By all means.
What actually hurts more for me is that this seemingly trait was handed on to my children,
Mhm.
and one of them, particularly one of them that's almost 50, acts out that internal rage and that suppressed of me, that actually feels crippling to me, that I would hand this on. unknowingly.
Thank you, Leslie. That means a lot hearing that. I wonder if you might be open to forgiving yourself for doing that.
Yes, I'm open to that.
Now, is there any part, and this is just my sense, it doesn't have to be your truth, you can tell me what's your truth, but is there any part of you that felt a little resistance to forgiving yourself for that?
Tiny little bit of not wanting to have that responsibility.
Yeah. Well, to this part of you, I wonder if there's any possibility that rather than this being a responsibility, this could be seen as an opportunity. Like if you are able to reach a place within yourself where you really truly not only dissolve this belief, but forgive yourself for passing it on to your children, that can actually have a huge beneficial energetic impact on that child and on your relationship with that child, quite literally for the rest of both your lives.
Yes,
So with
I
that in
accept that.
mind, wonderful. Does it feel safe and ready to forgive yourself?
Yes,
So I invite you to repeat after me. I forgive myself completely for believing in being a dumb fuck.
I forgive myself completely in believing in being a dumb fuck.
I forgive myself completely for passing that belief on to my child and anyone else I know.
I forgive myself completely for passing that belief on to my child and my grandchildren and anyone else I know.
I am compassion and forgiveness for all ideas of being a dumb fuck.
I am compassion and forgiveness for all ideas of being a dumb fuck.
I undefine all definitions of being a dumb fuck.
I undefine all definitions of being a dumb fuck.
Take a deep breath. How does that feel?
That feels as a freedom, feels very freeing in my physical body. It feels expanded. It feels full of grace. And it feels like I can now choose from this new space within me to create the next 30 years differently and to be differently.
Yes.
To
Heaven,
really
yes.
come from that genius part of me.
Good.
Which I can see those two parts integrated within me and choosing now that wholeness to come from a new place.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's one more complimentary intention to wrap it up.
Oh,
Blessings,
oh,
energy. Yeah.
I feel very excited and there's those sizzling cells of,
Yeah.
this is the secret sauce. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. Awesome. So just from my experience, I know how helpful it is to be thorough with these things. And so I'll invite just one more intention. which is I disidentify all identities of being a dumbfuck.
I disidentify all identities of being a dumbfuck. And so it is. It is
Oh,
done. Yeah.
yeah.
Woo!
Cool.
And it's so amazing, Gladius, because as we were just getting to the sizzle, that secret sizzle, a draft came through my door and flipped over the very next page on my book, which is a
Yes.
double blank page. So
Oh, great. Oh, shit.
it's so gorgeous. It's like this is the page that was open, you know, with all the information from our call,
Yeah.
and then all the you know, all the writing and the information, and it's flipped over to this, the blank page.
Wow. Oh, that's so rad. That's amazing. Well done. Beautiful, Leslie. Beautiful.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody holding beautiful, loving space for
Truly.
this lovely process. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's shift into a group integration and we can have a conversation about just what this experience was like for everyone to participate in, to just witness. I'd love to hear from David, who joined us. I'd love to hear from Dave, P. Quinn, Catherine, anyone who feels called to share. What was this experience like for you to witness and to participate in? Catherine says, "Thank you, Leslie. Love your energy.
Hey, I
Amazing.
was just gonna. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Catherine.
Welcome."
Hi. I was just gonna jump in and say, like, it was really tough, especially listening to Sherry's, where I was just like, I just wanted to like crawl out of my skin. I don't know, on the self-worth thing. But it was wonderful to hear it resolved, and yeah. But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Jake, others, feel free to chime in. What was this experience like, and what are you taking away from this experience? What are you learning anew from this experience? See, David came on video. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm driving right now, but that was really amazing. Like, I got value out of both of those and didn't really realize that dumb fuck, that was like such a good terminology. And just like that sacredness at the end of the page is just like so incredible. So yeah, Gladius, thank you so very much, and everybody else, amazing.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Can have be one or two more just kind of popcorn style shares. Sherry, you both participated and got to witness. So what was that like? I'd be curious to hear from you.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I love, I do parts work myself, so it was nice to see, like, to have something like that integrates differently, with those wordings at the end to unlock the words. That was really potent. And yeah, it's always beautiful to witness someone going through their process of finding those inner parts and bringing them forward and being able to show a new sense of compassion and understanding to themselves. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. I love this work.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Agreed. Full force. Right. So one integration journaling prompt that I want to offer to those who participated. Now, when I say participate, I mean either you volunteered directly or you were dissolving your own beliefs at the same time. Um, the prompt is, well, now that I no longer believe I am unworthy. Now that I no longer believe I'm a dumbfuck, or whatever you adapted it to in your own belief system, what am I inspired to create? Who am I inspired to share with? I'll write these in the chat. So now that I no longer believe, what am I inspired to create? And who am I inspired to share with? So the idea is that as you begin training in this new way of being, of actually having free will to choose and change your beliefs instead of them being a semi-permanent structure, you're dissolving all of that stuck fear and sadness and shame. All of that emotional energy is now returned to you as love to fuel your next level creations in this new paradigm of reality. And so the question is, what am I inspired to create? And as you share and extend the love that you are, the impact of this new frequency that you're carrying gets to be shared and felt and create an impact, a ripple impact in the world. And so, who are you inspired to share with? Inspired to land the gig for head of AI. Oh, that's what's up. Let's go, Jake. I love that. Anyone else want to share something that pops to mind? What are you inspired to create? Leslie.
Mine's unknown what, how, when, and where, but it's something that I'm going to be bringing from the unseen to the seen reality, and it's for the greater good of humanity. It's some sort of leadership for humanity in some way. Yeah.
Heaven, yes.
Yes. Heaven, yes. That one. So it's like bringing heaven to earth in some holy way, but it's not holy hell. It's going to be it's a holy heaven way,
All right.
but inspired. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So I want to open it up to Q&A, and I also want to extend an invitation to continue doing this kind of training on a more regular basis if you guys are open for that. Does anyone here feel open to hearing about some ways that I can help? All right. Yep, got a couple nods, so cool. So I extended a invitation in a little Google Doc, and I'll spend just a minute going over this with you about a program I have called the Belief Mastery Accelerator. And there's a really cool thing that I'm doing with this. I got some advice from a coach. I'm one who always invests in coaching in order to reach my next level. And they said, dude, you should just make your entire program available to people for like $50 so that they can actually see it and feel it and taste how magical and transformational this kind of work can be. And the right people will absolutely love to sign up and continue doing what you do. And those who just want to have their breakthrough, fuck yeah, that's great. So, we're totally cool either way. But the Belief Mastery Accelerator is for awakened entrepreneurs who are ready to transcend their final mental and emotional blocks that are holding them back from that authentic self-confidence, the next level of leadership, intimate relationships, and consistent 5 or 6 months together. And the key here is that we don't have to do it alone anymore. You've seen the power of doing this kind of work in a sacred and safe container that is led with intention. And we can all actually, for real, achieve greater degrees of freedom if we do it together. And I'll kind of explain what the magic is and where it happens daily. I do multiple of these style of trainings in a tight and intimate container every single week. We do group training sessions that are focused on you building up your confidence and your self-belief so that you become an unstoppable force of good in the world, focused on your love and relationships and beliefs that prevent the intimacy, the creative expression in your relationships, the getting rid of that fear of intimacy, vulnerability, rejection, and judgment. We have trainings that focus on beliefs that help you cultivate a deeper sense of innate leadership, no longer being afraid to be seen and be heard in your mission and your vision. And of course, just like we did today, we have sessions that are focused on money and abundance because that's super important. Right? So the idea here is that together we can get off the income roller coaster, step into the identity of a 6 or 7 figure CEO who knows what to do, who to call, and how to lead innately. Or if you prefer, we have some interesting folks in this community, some magical manifestation wizards who magnetize wealth. Totally up to you. But what's really powerful about this community, and we have a member actually of this program here, Lori, who just started here recently. This is her first week. Is that we meet multiple times a week to transcend these old limitation programs in faster and faster and faster ways. There's also a really cool component. So Jake is an AI wizard. I've got some of my own AI wizardry as well. And what I have managed to create is a recorded training library that documents all of the different intentions that we're using, all of the different beliefs that we're clearing together. And what you can ultimately do is you can actually come into school here, and if you're feeling overwhelmed on a particular day, you can literally just search for the word overwhelm, and you can instantly pull up a relevant experience that someone else has dissolved that same belief, follow along in that same training, and start reaping and gaining that same benefit and that same result. And then in addition, we have, when you start this immersion week, we'll give you access to all of the paid courses on, give you a free copy of the book, give you access to the Sovereign Mind Method course, give you all the paid trainings, libraries, everything. That's all kind of like the nuts and bolts. But really, like if you've had this experience and there's an intuitive sense like I want to do that more, and hey, I maybe want to actually volunteer myself and see what it's like to let go of more limiting beliefs and see what kind of benefit that creates in my life. I made it insanely accessible. Like anyone who wants to can, when it's just $47. And the very first step that we would do together is we'd hop on a call, we chart out what's the new identity that you want to step into as we continue rising into 2025, and we'll get you on the calendar for the trainings that are coming up, and yeah, then we're off to the races. So figured I'd extend that invitation. If you want to keep going, that's the easiest and the most affordable way to do so. So thanks a lot. That's my spiel. Spiel is over, and now it's a Q&A for anyone who wants to ask questions about the method, the process, our program. I'm here for you. And that's when everyone raced off of mute and they asked the burning desire questions. Alternatively, that's when we decided to pop off and say sayonara until next time.
Thanks, Gladius. Mwah.
Mwah!
Mwah.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Absolutely. Enjoy your new freedom.
Thank you, Sherry. Mwah.
Thank you, Leslie. Hi, everyone.
Thank you,
Yes.
Gladius.
Yeah, you're so welcome. My honor, my pleasure. All right, I'll send out the recording from this one. And suppose everyone, I saw David come off mute for a millisecond though. David, you wanna share something? David coming off mute, going once, going twice. Infinite love. And thank you, P. Quinn. Still don't know your first name, but I'll find out someday. All right. Blessings, everyone. Well, take care. See you
Blessings.
next time. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.